hope you're doing great today, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm gonna go over my setup with the 404 and the MPC. This setup right here has been my favorite combo as of lately, just for a few reasons, and that's what I wanna go over in this video. But before I jump any further, I do want to remind you that if you own an MPC, whether it's the MPC-1 or the MPC Live, the 404, I mean, it's a luxury, but you don't really need it, but it is pretty fun to have. And I'm gonna go over on how I'm using it with my MPC. So I think it'd be safe to say that most of the time that I have this 404 turned on, I'm going to be utilizing the sounds that it has within it. And yes, every now and then I do use the sequencer. I like to use the resampler to come up with ideas. And it is very, very fun to use it in that type of setting. But when I'm gonna be using it with my MPC, it's going to be for its sounds. So a quick demonstration on how I'm using this setup. Right here, my signal flow is I have my MPC coming out of my MPC, going into the 404, and then coming out of the 404 into my Zoom recorder or out to your speakers or to your interface, wherever you want to go into. Because I actually have a beat right here. I'll let you guys hear it. I'm going to go ahead and add some drums to this. Now, I don't have this turned on yet, but I'm going to add some drums. So right here, I have a loop going and I like how it sounds, my drums, the sample. Now, at this point, when I have the idea of my beat and where it's headed towards, this is where I would come into the 404 and start messing with the sounds. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that I am only monitoring these effects. The compressor, the 404 simulator, like all that stuff, I'm just monitoring it, but I'm not committing to those sounds. Like what's being recorded is the sounds that we have over here on the MPC. What I'm playing back on these effects is just something that I'm monitoring. Now, there's two things you could do if you want those sounds. You could either just say, you know what, I like how the mix sounds, everything sounds good to me. Just coming out of the 404 with those effects, you could just print this into your DAW and record it with those sounds, which honestly, you can get away with it because you will hear right now how good these compressors are, and it just kind of glues your whole entire beat together in a very pleasing way. The reason why I like this is because as you guys can hear this beat right now, I'm gonna hit play. Like, that sounds really good to me. I love how that sounds. It's very clean, very crisp. There's no compression on the master. It's just clean and raw. So at this point, I'm vibing with this, I'm feeling this. So I go into the 404 and I'm gonna jump into my effect settings, shift pad 16. And right here, this is gonna be affecting your stereo output right here. So any effects that you apply is gonna be applied to everything that's going on in the 404. And the really cool thing is that you can have favorites right here. So right now is bypass, so I don't have anything turned on, but if I go into favorite one, I have a 404 vinyl simulator and a cassette simulator. And then favorites too, like you can kind of save your presets, which is really cool because this is something that I kind of recall as I'm working on beats. So on my favorites one, I actually like how this sounds. I'm gonna go over the settings, but just keep in mind that it's gonna be different because this beat sounds the way it sounds with the kick, the snare, the bass. But most of the time I have to go in here and tweak it a little bit so I can, you know, I'll show you guys right now how I have it. So this one is the 404 simulator, which I really like how it sounds. So you could really start getting some interesting sounds. The noise is just adding some like vinyl noise in the back. I like to add some. I'll add probably like 10. And then the whoa flutter, I'm gonna go drastic. So it's just kind of gluing the whole entire beat together. Again, some people might like it, some people might not, but I love it. Like, I love how this sounds. Keep in mind that there's only 3 settings. It's just the frequency, the noise, and the whoa flutter. And again, if you already have 50% of your beat finish feeding into the 404, messing around with those settings, you come up with some really cool sounds. Now on my Bus 4, I have my cassette simulator, and let's hear what this does with these settings. We got our tone, and I'm gonna do it. Same thing right here with this tone. It's just kind of filtering out all the low end. And then you got your hiss. So it's kind of like if you're listening to a cassette, which sounds awesome, man. Like if you guys want to do like some introductions and just kind of drop in the beat with this type of cassette simulator on your beat, you can come up with those ideas right here. That's why I say there's a lot of inspiration. Your age, so it sounds really old. Let's go down right here to your drive. You can like drive this so it sounds kind of crushed and distorted. Also has your whoa flutter. Like, that is crazy. I'll start bringing this tone back. Ooh, yeah. Now, bring this drive down because the bass is going crazy. Bring down the flutter. Bring down the hiss and start dialing in the sound that you're going for. The age, probably bring this down a bit. This catch setting, I'm not sure what it does, but it like, there you go. Like, it's, I don't know what it is, but you know, it's cool to have all these settings. All right, so as you guys just heard, like some of those settings. Now, there's so many other settings in here that I'm not gonna go over, but those 2 are my favorite ones. Every beat is different. Every beat, the kick, the snare, the sample has a different bass to it. So again, you know, play around with these settings, but it might be different for every other beat. Sometimes the cassette simulator will not work. You know, it just doesn't sound good to me. So I'll switch it up. Now, if you also have a 404 Mark II or any of the sp404s, let me know down in the comments what are some of your favorite settings for, you know, coming up with some interesting sounds. And if you do not have a 404 and are interested into picking up a 404, make sure you guys go down in the description. I do have an affiliate link right there, which it will help out the channel if you guys want to go ahead and support the channel. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day and checking out this video. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll catch y'all on our next video. Peace.